Right, hello lads and lasses and welcome back to Boys Down Under. It is a great day today, and that is a great day because Celtic are finally back in action. It's great to see. We're not going to do one of the usual, pre-match previews that I normally do on the channel purely because I don't really see the need for a pre-season game. So instead we're going to look at the players, and I think this is more beneficial. We're going to look at the players to watch, right? But before we go any further though, if you guys are enjoying the off-season content and you want to help support the channel, the best way to do so is to click that like button, click that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into it. So it feels like an eternity, an absolute eternity since Celtic lifted the trophy on that final match day of the season against Motherwell. It really does. But while this may not be an official competitive match, it's still going to be great to see the boys back and playing again. Now, sure, we're not going to be at the same quality we were at last season in this specific match, right? And I'm sure we'll see the majority of minutes in this match played by the B team players and the fringe first team players. Now, it can be very exciting, right? Don't get me wrong, to see the younger generation of Celtic players come in and try and seize the opportunity, right? But the boys have been going hard already in pre-season. That's clear to see from what we've seen in the training videos, and that's all we can base it on, and from comments from specific coaches and players, right? You can tell that the club, the players are already going very hard this season, and it's clearly a sign of intent from Ange wanting to level up this season, to be better, to do better, right? To take this team to the next level. Now, of course, that may not all be on show tonight, right? That's understandable, and that's something I think the media will try and focus on a lot, but I know Celtic fans won't because it's our first game back. We're going to be rusty. All right, that's a given. We're not going to be, as good as we were in the 3-0 derby win, right? But that doesn't mean we're not going to be terrible. I don't think we're going to be terrible. There's going to be good parts, and there's also going to be bad parts. And I'm sure the Scottish media, like I said, will focus on the bad. But us, as the Celtic fan contingent, we should be focusing on the good, right? And rather, we should be looking at the individuals who have got the most reason to impress tonight. So let's go through some of the key players, and I'm sure many of you will have your own opinions, but these are some of the top ones that I have pulled out, I guess we can say. Firstly, we'll get him out of the way, Christopher Jullien. Now, Chris Jullien, he's always changing his idea. He's always changing his mind, right? Like a teenage girl, he's indecisive, yeah, right? But he now appears on social media, I might add, right, to be committed to Celtic, or at least for the time being, right, posting an image of himself in training, right, in Austria with the caption, "Seize the moment, #keep working." Now, it's still very, very unclear on the club stance and also Jullien's stance on his future, right, but all I know and what everyone else knows is what everyone else knows, right, and that Jullien is training with Celtic at the moment. He is a contracted Celtic player, and he's putting the effort in, from what we can see, right? And what else do we know definitely is that Carl Starfelt is still injured, and he will not be taking part, and hasn't been taking part in training during Austria, and won't take part tonight. So for someone like Jullien, you can expect a fair amount of minutes coming his way, right? Especially considering that Ant will be reluctant to give those minutes to someone like Cameron Carter-Vickers, who's just back and only had 2 or 3 training sessions. It's going to be most likely Welshie, Jullien, Dane Murray, and maybe some other B team players as well getting those minutes at centre-back, right? So that's a guarantee that we'll see Jullien in action. It's also a guarantee that not only the Celtic fans, but Ange will also be watching him like a hawk. Now, I do want to see him succeed, right? I do want to see him out there enjoying his football without, a massive cloud over his head regarding his future. Because, obviously, we haven't heard anything. Since Schalke signed a centre-back, we haven't heard anything. And he's, I don't know. I don't really know where his head is at. I wish I was a mind reader and wish I did know so I could tell you guys, but I don't. So we're going to have to base his actions off what he produces on the football field. But if it's to go by anything of what he's been producing in training, he seems pretty committed, all right? Unless he's going to win an Oscar for, best acting performance of the year, right? For his performances in Celtic training, he seems to be doing the right things. Now, secondly, another player I'll be interested to see in action is Mikey Johnston. Yes, I know, another season comes by, we do the round, we do the loop, and Mikey seems to get a clean slate every single season. Now, there's that is for a lot of Celtic fans, and that seems to be the norm, but for me, I'm not giving Mikey a clean slate. I can't, right? I can't keep doing it. You know, he needs to, this season, he needs to perform above and beyond, specifically in preseason, if he wants to keep his spot in the team. Because look at it, right? Look at our winger options, right? There are so many players in this team ahead of Mikey Johnston. Dyson Maida, 1 year older than Mikey. Jota, the same age as Mikey. Leo Abada, 3 years younger than Mikey Johnston. And they're all light years ahead of him in terms of their development. So it's up to Mikey to change this. It's up to Mikey to prove he deserves a place in this squad. Because right now, if I was the manager, I'd be trying to ship him off to other clubs. So huge preseason for Mikey. I think he'll get a lot of minutes, not a lot, but certainly a decent amount of minutes tonight, considering he's been there since day one of preseason. So best of luck to him. Best of luck to all these players as well, by the way. I'd never want to wish the downfall of a Celtic player at least. Now, thirdly, we have got Yusuke Itaguchi finally without injuries and, you know, a selection issue, like not wanting to break up the already thriving midfield, I guess we could say. Yusuke Itaguchi has had a lot of training and he's set to get a lot of minutes, right? You know, we know that Yusuke already, we'll call him Gucci because he likes to be known as Gucci. We'll call Gucci, he's a great passer of the ball, but we want to see those other areas of the game flourish, right? His movement off the ball, his ball winning ability, right? Gucci is a player who could have a real impact this season at Celtic, and he's not the biggest of players, he's not the most physical of players, but he's certainly gifted with talent, right? And last season, obviously, it was hard to get into the squad. You know, there was no spots available. This season, it's pretty much the same, except the departures of Nir Baton and Tom Rogic have opened up just a little bit. And that is an opening there for Yusuke Itaguchi to secure himself either a bench spot. If he's incredible, he'll get a starting spot. That seems unrealistic, though. But he has got the quality to really impact and improve this Celtic team, whether that be in the box-to-box role, the CDM role. We'll have to wait and see, but do expect a lot of minutes tonight for Yusuke Itaguchi, but I'll be looking out for him as well because he's an interesting player. You know, he was a very talented young prospect. Things didn't work out for him in his first stint in Europe. He now has that experience, so hopefully this second time around, he can use those, he can learn from his mistakes and really do well in the upcoming season. Fourth, and almost finally, Alexandro Bernabé, our new boy. I want to see him in the hoops. The training videos show that he's already, you know, gelling and talking to the rest of the team with Tony Ralston. Callum McGregor, of course, leading by captain's example, you know, introducing him and getting him used to the surroundings. Right, but now it's time to see him perform on the pitch. And personally, I cannot wait, right? And I really hope he succeeds. You know, not even considering the fact he cost us £3.75 million, right? But I just genuinely, money aside, want him to do well in the Celtic jersey. And tonight we get the first taste of it. And look, even if he isn't the best tonight, that's okay. I'm not going to, you know, make a judgment off one game, right? But there should be aspects we should be seeing. If he does get a genuinely good amount of minutes and decent amount of minutes tonight, we should be seeing those qualities on show. And those qualities should be the reason of why we paid 3.75 for him and why Ange brought him in. I will always have faith in an Ange signing. There's no doubt about that. Got faith in him. Really hope he succeeds. Can't wait to see him. And finally, I'm doing these lads as a group because there's so many of them, but the whole B team squad, right? They should be excited and ready to go. You know, they're ready to make the most of their opportunities that they will get because in preseason, as we get closer and closer to the beginning of the season, their opportunities will become very few, right? Only the top players, you know, those who impress early on will get minutes later on. So tonight is the first opportunity and the best opportunity for them to impress the boss, impress the assistants, and hopefully plead their case for getting more minutes later down the track and even potentially a debut this season. You know, we're looking at players like Ben Summers, Rocco Vata, Bosun Law, Ben Wiley, Owen Moffat, Joey Dawson, Toby Oluwayemi, and yeah, I could go on for days. But we're going to end the video. I'm going to do the outro in a second. I just want to mention, though, Ben Siegrist. Do want to see him. Not as important, though, as he is a keeper. I know it's shitty, but it's the reality of it. But I still do want to see him do well in hoops, but I don't think we'll be expecting many shots on target and much action for our goalkeepers today. But that is finally all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments below I guess, score prediction and which player you were most excited to see in the green and white tonight. But until next time, hail, hail.